Buying your first home in Massachusetts, one wrong move can cost you thousands. Let's talk about the biggest mistakes I see first-time home buyers make and how to avoid them. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gerard and I am a licensed realtor here in Massachusetts. And today we are looking at mainly the biggest things that I see first-time home buyers do that might end up costing them money in the long run. And let's just jump right into it. That first mistake, and one of the biggest, is unfortunately looking for homes before you are actually pre-approved. The reality is sellers take buyers seriously when they are pre-approved. And when I'm working with my own buyers, it's always the first step. It's always really before you start touring homes and getting, your heart set on a property, you want to make sure that you have gone through all the steps to secure financing. And it's the most important thing when you first start your home buying journey. And as I always do with all my clients, is that whether or not they are working with a lender already, I try to help guide that process a little bit. And if they're not working with a lender, I will absolutely refer them to someone that I've worked with in the past, someone reliable, someone who has gotten the job done for previous clients. Another mistake I see first-time home buyers make quite often is underestimating the total expense. You have taxes, you have home inspections, you have closing costs, appraisal, moving, furniture. I mean, there is a lot of cost involved when you are buying that first home. I always try to prepare my clients for that. And this is not in an attempt to sort of take the wind out of their sails if they have their heart set on a property, but it is something that needs to be discussed ahead of time. And that's something that I always make sure I do when I sit down with clients and we have a price range in mind and try to sort of look at what some of that cost might be that they aren't necessarily expecting. I mean, they've never bought a house before, so I would not expect them to know what it is going to cost them. But when you sit down with me, I'll be sure to go over all that with you so you feel more secure making that offer. The third mistake I see is buyers not using the right agent. Now, there are a lot of qualified agents in Massachusetts for people to choose from. And a lot of times what you might find is someone maybe going with a family friend or a friend of a friend, which is fine. But what is that agent offering you? What are the things of value that you might get from a particular agent that another agent doesn't necessarily offer? I know where I am at my brokerage, we offer a lot of things like pre-list opportunities. So, access to homes before they're actually even listed. It's a huge benefit. My clients personally love that because it allows them to see a home before it actually hits the market and everybody jumps on it. So sometimes you end up getting a better deal that way, and it can be an ideal situation for a couple maybe looking for their next home. And at the end of the day, using the right agent is going to essentially give you negotiating power on your behalf. They are going to have some local insight depending on where you are buying the home and ultimately protecting your best interest at every turn during the home buying process. The next mistake I see that might sometimes be overlooked is leading with emotion when deciding on a home. That might be something like falling in love too fast with a property, skipping an inspection, although beginning in October, you will no longer be able to waive your home inspection when buying a home in Massachusetts, and maybe even overbidding on a property that you might really want badly, but it's not worth what you're bidding for it. For me, it's really critical to make sure my clients stay grounded. They are not ignoring red flags, things like mold, cracks in the foundation, crazy HOA rules or fees, whatever it is. I want to make sure that we are not ignoring certain things that could become real problems later on in the process. A real pro tip here would be making a need versus want list before you start looking for properties. The next mistake would be ignoring location trade-offs. A lot of buyers tend to have tunnel vision when it comes to area that they might be looking in, even specific town, like they literally only want to live in one certain town. But you really are limiting yourself when you aren't looking at sort of a more bird's eye view of what is available. You may be even able to find a better valued home 15 minutes away with the right search criteria and still find what you're looking for. My tip here would be to focus on lifestyle, commute, taxes, overall long-term growth, and not just the name of a town. The sixth mistake I see here sort of ties in to being pre-approved, and that is looking into all your financing options. Understand what options are available when it comes to a mortgage. Not all loans are created equal. You have standard loans, you have FHA, mass housing. There's a lot of options for buyers now, and that is why you want to make sure you are talking to a professional, someone who is an expert in their field. I know many, so that would never be an issue with referring someone to a potential buyer that I work with to make sure that they are getting the best possible loan structure available to them. Some buyers even qualify for down payment assistance, but don't know enough to ask. That could be a massive opportunity there to not leave any money on the table. And finally, number 7, waiting for that perfect moment to actually buy something. I hear it a lot. I'll wait until rates drop. Well, once rates drop, now competition spikes, home prices go up. There's just not a situation really where you would be not competing with someone else in a wait and see approach. As a matter of fact, here in Massachusetts right now, as I am filming this, buyers have more power than they ever have. More negotiating power. We're seeing more seller concessions and just overall less bidding war madness. Don't try to time the market. Time in the market is what builds wealth. That's it, guys. 7 popular mistakes that I see first-time home buyers make right here in Massachusetts. Now, if you are even thinking of purchasing a home, especially your first home here in Massachusetts in 2025, I would absolutely love to help. I work with buyers just like you every single week and would love the opportunity to show you what I can do for you. Be sure to check out georgegroupboston.com, like this video if you found it to be helpful, and subscribe to the channel. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.